Coming up next, Management 5, only here on MGNTv.
Hello and welcome to another daily episode of
Management 5.
This is Queenlie Palanca,
Jenielyn Ranque,
Crizelynda Lie,
Nina Alexandra,
Aljonne,
and Benjie.
bringing you more facts, trivia, and knowledge about international business and trade.
Before we get into our topic for today, see if you can guess the names of the persons being shown.
If you guessed Henry C. Jr., Enrique Razon Jr., and Manuel Villar Jr., you are correct.
They are few of Philippines' wealthy people, and yes, today's topic is all about the richest Filipino billionaires. And now, let's get to know them.
you may have heard of the billionaire and richest Filipino Henry C. But are you aware that his children are billionaires as well? His eldest son, Henry Jr., is also one of the Forbes listed richest billionaires in the world, alongside his siblings Teresita, Elizabeth, Hans, Hilbert, and Harley, a family of billionaires indeed.
Henry C. Jr. is a 68 years old Filipino businessman based in Makati with a net worth of 3.6 billion US dollars. He is the vice chairman and CEO of the publicly listed SM Development Corporation. Among his responsibilities of holding the highest position is handling the real estate acquisitions and development activities of SM Group, which includes the identification, evaluation, and negotiation for potential site as well as the input of design ideas. He has been a director and officer for more than 5 years in companies engaged in banking, real estate development, construction, mall operations, cement, food and rubber manufacturing, finance, and investment. After taking over the National Power Grid Corporation of the Philippines, he was elected as its president and CEO. And in 2017, he set up as a Big Boss Cement, entering an industry that has benefited from President Duterte's massive infrastructure push.
Henry C. Jr. graduated from De La Salle University with a business management degree. There was no doubt that Henry C. Jr. would be a successful billionaire after being the eldest son of the Philippines' richest person for 11 consecutive years. His success rooted from his father, whom his fortune were inherited from. Having been involved in various and multiple businesses and heritage, together with expertise and capabilities, surely boosted his journey to success in the business field.
Additional trivia. His company is also planning of expanding outside of the Philippines, particularly in China, which he has already developed 7 malls. The property giant is also looking at the possibility of expanding in other Association of Southeast Asian Nations countries.
Does the name Ports King ring a bell to you? Well, it's a well-known name given to Enrique Razon Jr., another rich Filipino billionaire which we are about to know more. Enrique Razon Jr. is a 61-year-old Filipino billionaire and logistician with a net worth of 5.1 billion US dollars. He is a chairman and CEO of the Manila-listed company International Container Terminal Services Incorporation, the country's leading terminal operator and a family business to which his investments stem from. It also operates ports in the countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, Australia, and China, as well as ports in Africa, the Americas, Europe, and the Middle East.
The Razon family gained their riches through their port business. Enrique Jr. is the man known as the Ports King because of engaging in the ports industry, together with his family since they started in the country and for operating 9 ports in the country. They moved to the Philippines from Spain in the early 20th century and managed their port business through World War II until this day. Enrique Jr.'s grandfather started the port business in Manila in 1916 before his father rebuilt it after World War II, and Enrique Jr. grew the business globally. Other than the port business, He is also the chairman and CEO of a hospitality firm, Bloomberry Resorts Corp. And Manila Waterco.
Did you know? Enrique Razon left school when he was 17 years old to take a job which was the start of his path to success. Yes, he took a minimum wage at the family's cargo loading business and worked his way through the ranks. He graduated with a degree in business administration from De La Salle University and inherited the business from his father and grew the net worth to about 234 billion pesos.
He's been described as a visionary, a risk taker, has a relentless work ethic, and is a good listener. One unique thing about the 55-year-old is that he keeps a healthy lifestyle, making him look younger.
Being given with a moniker such as Mr. Sipag at Tiyaga definitely is an honorable thing. Do you know which Filipino is being called by that right now? It's the business tycoon turned politician Manuel Manny Villar Jr., a 71-year-old businessman engaging in a diversified industry with a net worth of more than 5.6 billion US dollars. Although he wasn't always the talk of the town, through the real estate entrepreneur's hard work, perseverance, and skill for business learned from his mother, he became one of the country's richest men. Manny's father is an ordinary government employee and his mother is a fish dealer. At a very young age, he was exposed to entrepreneurship by helping his mother sell fish in the market. The chaos of the Divisoria environment molded the billionaire that we now know. He got exposed on how the Chinese businessmen do business, but it was his mother that greatly influenced him.
The majority of Manny's fortune is derived from his majority stake in Golden MV Holdings. He is also calculated to own 68% of Old Home Corporation. He established Camilla Homes in the 70s and soon added another brand, Palmera. Being the first to build subdivisions in the largely untapped market of the suburbs and emerging cities in the countryside, put him ahead of the competition. He then became the foremost housing developer for the middle-class market in the 90s, and began to expand into related businesses such as townhomes, condominiums, shopping centers, and cemeteries. Manny also became a politician, as a congressman, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Senator, and Senate President. He ran for the presidential election but unfortunately lost. And so, he returned to manage his business and expanded his empire. Interesting fact, Manny, at the age of 26, became one of the youngest millionaires in the country. As he finally found his forte in the business, Manny focused in developing houses where he then turned to developing low-cost housing.
Those are the background and story of how Henry C. Jr., Enrique Razon Jr., and Manuel Villar Jr. became billionaires and got listed as 3 of the richest Filipino billionaires in the world.
And since you guys already know them, it's time for
Quick Quiz!
where we give a quick recap of today's lesson through a quiz.
Send your answers to us and get a chance to win amazing prizes.
For this quiz, match the numbers to the corresponding letters.
Just text 1 letter, space 2 letter, space 3 letter, and send it to 1393.
The answers and winner will be announced on the next episode.
Tune in tomorrow for more facts, trivia, and knowledge about international business and trade.
This is Queenlie Palanca.
Jenielyn Ranque,
Crizelynda Lie,
Nina Alexandra,
Aljonne,
Benjie,
and this is Management 5. See you tomorrow!